of Thank You Next, you know, the new lead single from Ariana Grande's up-and-coming album, Thank You Next. The music video came out. I'm sure we've all seen it by now. The combination of Bring It On, Mean Girls, of course, Legally Blonde, as well as 13 Going on 30. So I just want to talk about some things that maybe you might have missed that I definitely picked up on. So as we already know, it starts off with kind of the Mean Girls-esque vibe of, oh, Regina George. Remember when everyone was talking about Regina George and how much they loved Regina George? Aaron, he's back. I said, wow, okay, he's aging well. Hot Dog Girl. Hot Dog Girl. For those of you who didn't know, Hot Dog Girl was supposed to actually be blessing the hot dog, not eating the hot dog or making out with the hot dog, but they thought that was a little too raunchy. So instead, they said that she ate the hot dog. We know that Troye Sivan is close friends with Ariana Grande. So her burn book, instead of it being the burn book, it's her kind of memory / appreciation book. That's why it's called Thank You Next. And it starts off, a lot of people didn't see the actual, because it went quickly. So a lot of people didn't see what happened in the actual burn book. Oh, Thank You Next book. In her version of, you know, she thought it would be with Sean, but he wasn't a match. Well, thought it'd end up with Sean, but he wasn't a match. In the book, she actually says, could still get it. I said, wait, what? What? What is going on here? And then she talks about Ricky, who was I don't know if he's still, you know, one of her dancers, but he was one of her dancers that she ended up having a relationship with. And in his thing, it said, great dancer. And a lot of people were clowning him for that. I said, but he still dated Ariana Grande, so he won. I don't see what the bad part is. And then when it came to, of course, Pete Davidson, she had like, I Love You Always, Sorry I Dipped. And for those who don't know what that means, Sorry I Dipped just means that, sorry I ran out on you, sorry I left. It's almost like ghosting. It's like, and then for Malcolm, who some people still don't realize, that's Mac Miller. Malcolm is Mac Miller, and she didn't have him in the book because I think that was her way of kind of like, she doesn't want to feel like she's using him, or people say, oh, well, she talked about him or she did this or she did that when she should have done this or should have done that. So I think the best thing was kind of just to do kind of the subtle looking up, you know, in reference to, okay, because he was an angel type of thing. Just keep it pushing. Now they're in the hallway, and now we see well, we already saw a blonde Ariana with the wig. I said, now Ariana been telling us, oh, I wear the ponytail because I don't look good in wigs. Oh, I wear the ponytail because of this, because of that. You love the ponytail. There's nothing wrong with that. Stop giving us these other excuses. I said, look at Aaron being all chipper like he always is. And for people who didn't realize, the other blonde is actually Ariana Grande's friend. I don't remember her name at the moment, but they've been friends since they were younger. And Liz from the one and only Victorious, as well as she's now in Dynasty, which some people don't like the remake, but I enjoy it because it's just goofy. I just take it for what it is. I take a lot of things for what they are. But she was playing Katie, aka Lindsay Lohan's character. And I mean, she was spot on. Spot on. And did anyone else notice that on her shirt, it said, you know, I'm Needy or something like that. Needy is going to be one of the songs off of her new album, if you didn't already know. And there were also other situations where I think on the back of a building, which will be coming up, there was another song title. But Kris Jenner, seeing Kris Jenner, oh my gosh, play Regina George's mommy. I said, Mr. George, I said, this is perfect. I remember that meme of Kris Jenner on social media, you're doing great, sweetie, where she has that old camera, but now it's 2018, so she has the full camera. And then she even gets out, and she gets out and does the dance. It was so funny. It was so funny. And I love the dance, the reenactment of the Jingle Bell Rock dance. It was so funny. Now her, doing the whole dance in the Bring It On section. And guess who we see? Matt! Matt! If you don't know who Matt is, Matt was Robbie in Victorious. And I feel like, wait a minute, you guys really haven't seen him recently? People are so surprised. I said, that's kind of what people who play dorky characters normally look like in real life. They don't necessarily look like dorks in real life. That was silly. Now, when they're doing the routine, and the Bring It routine, there was another familiar face, Daniela. If you didn't watch Victorious, you wouldn't know who she is, but she actually played Victoria Justice's sister on that show. And what was her name? Trina. Oh, that show was a gem. Really a gem. Is back, as well as one of her best friends or close friends, Victoria Monette. They were the ones who were a part of, a lot of people wanted Gabrielle to come back. I said, but she just had a baby. I mean, it was through surrogacy, but still, she just had a baby. Come on, guys. But one of my favorite parts of this entire video had to have been the 13 going on 30 moment, because the big thing about that, aside from, the candy slash dust and all that, it's the fact that we see the dollhouse. And in the dollhouse, you'll notice that each room is actually dedicated to the movie. To one of the movies. So there was a Bring It On room. There was a 13 going on 30 room. There was a... what else? There was a Mean Girls room and a Legally Blonde room. Why Ariana Grande looked like someone's young auntie with their hairstyle. And then it transfers her back to, I guess, technically a younger time. And this is where we get the Legally Blonde moment. And she has the pooch. She has her pooch, and that's Ariana's dog in real life. So she was talking to Ellie Coolidge. And the funny part about that is, Ellie... So they were talking, so Ariana was like, yeah, it was totally huge. I said, wait, what? We were all like, wait, what? Jennifer was like, oh yeah, she's never dated the guy with the big tooth. I said, really? Really? Okay. And eventually when they're doing the whole bend and snap movement, they, I guess because the original dance or choreography, song, what have you, was copywritten, they had to go and alter that so that they wouldn't get sued. The book that Ariana was reading was actually a book on, I believe it was immigration or something. I said, But my favorite part is everyone else's part at the very end, where, of all people, Kris Jenner was like, thank you, Natch. I said, what? Why are you doing this to us? So things that iHeartRadio.com, and I'll put the link below, noticed were certain things like the picture with the figure skater room in the Bring It On bedroom was actually of her older brother, Frankie. I wouldn't have noticed that. Other things that they noticed was Aaron Samuels was holding a Mean Girls inspired cookbook he put together. Didn't notice that. I did notice that. I didn't notice that the UPS guy was actually had a BDE badge instead of UPS. Ariana Grande's actual mom was in the background. A lot of people that Ariana knew apparently was the people in the audience. So I'm sure we could cherry pick a bunch of people. So there were a lot of references to how at 7 cheerleaders for the Bring It On portion. She had 7 awards hung on her walls. So they're thinking that maybe the next song or next single will be 7 Rings, which the backstory for that song, just in case you didn't know, is that apparently Ariana and a bunch of her friends went ring shopping, and I think this was like after the breakup with Pete Davidson, and so to boost up morale, she was drinking champagne, and they were going ring shopping. She bought them all rings, and there was more than 7 of them, but I guess for story purposes, it was 7 rings that were bought. So yeah, I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed the way how I put this together. Leave a comment, comment. Obviously, I'm sure I missed a bunch of things, but I just wanted to go and touch on just a couple of things that I noticed. That's all, just a couple. Just a couple. Thanks.
Remember to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe and come back.